just so typical as I start my stream. Someone is mowing their lawn. And I'm not sure actually if you guys can hear it, but it looks like it is picking up on my microphone. I hope you can hear me over this noise. Oh my God. Let's get some background music on. Maybe that'll drown out the lawnmower that's going on in the background. Yeah, from what I can see on my computer, it's the microphone is picking up the lawnmower that's going. Good God. And never a dull moment when it's live. Hello everybody and welcome to the new year. First one live on YouTube this year. At the moment I am going to just be doing one a week to ease into the year. So probably just for the month of Feb, and then I might do maybe towards the end of Feb I'll be back in routine of twice a week. But at the moment I'm just going to do once a week on a Wednesday, just to get back into things and to ease into things, because I have been doing a whole lot of other things other than baking, because I also do social media management and that, so I have taken on new customers and I'm trying to sort them out, and yeah, so a lot has been happening. And obviously the whole thing of this series that I'm doing at the moment is back to school, with my daughter. She started grade 1 this year, so now she's got 2 breaks at school plus extramurals after school. So now I need to make sure she's got enough food to sustain her throughout the day. Whereas last year I used to fetch her at 12:30, so she'd be home for lunch. So I used to just send her to school with a little bit of a snack, enough that I know that she would be able to, because she's not a huge eater, and she's a picky eater, she's a fussy eater. She only likes certain things, and the things that she does like, she does eat in abundance. So she loves Granny Smith apple, not Granny Smith. What are these ones? The yellow apples, not Granny Smith, not the green ones. Golden Delicious, that's them. Golden Delicious apples. She loves those. She likes bananas. There's a few things that she likes, but obviously there's a lot of things that she feels that she can't eat at school. So like, I don't send her to school with the yogurt, because by the time she eats it, it's warm. She doesn't like it. She loves green grapes, seedless green grapes, but she only likes them when they're cold. So I can't send her to school with them, because by the time she gets eaten, they are warm. So there are certain things that she just won't eat because of the state that they're in, and so she won't eat them. Otherwise, So it's been a difficulty trying to get her to eat balanced meals, especially at school, where I can't see what she's doing and all the rest of it. And one of the other things is that she hasn't been allowed to eat peanut butter sandwiches at school, and that is like her go-to. She loves peanut butter sandwiches, and for the past year she hasn't been allowed to. Last year she wasn't allowed to eat peanut butter sandwiches. It's been the best news. There it goes again. Hope you can hear me. It's been the best news that I've heard all year. Was that yesterday the teacher confirmed that, as far as they know, on the primary school side of things, she is actually allowed to eat peanut butter sandwiches. So lo and behold, today she went to school with peanut butter sandwiches, because that's all she's been wanting to do, is go to school with peanut butter sandwiches. Good God. But also, I cannot send her to school every single day with peanut butter sandwiches, because she will get bored of it and then stop eating. So what she'll end up doing is that if I send her to school with the same stuff every single day, then then obviously she gets bored. She doesn't want to have the same thing, and she'll actually just not eat. And she'll go through the entire day not eating, and then by the time she gets home, she's either famished, or because she hasn't eaten and she's done so much, she's so tired that she just passes out, because she hasn't fueled her body. So in efforts to try and give her something different every day, and a variety, and obviously healthy stuff as opposed to not healthy stuff, in between, I don't mind giving her in between healthy stuff, so like last week I made chocolate chickpeas, which she absolutely loved. I did it with dark chocolate. She loves them. So that's awesome. It's been a bonus healthy snack for me to send to her, send for her to school, which is really, really awesome. It was a winner. So I'm like, I will be making more of those. If you've watched the video from last week about the chocolate chickpeas, the one thing that I did work out is that the recipe said to bake them for 20 minutes or 30 minutes. That was too short of a time, but then I also decided to leave them in a little longer than that, and I might have left them in too long because when they cooled down they really did dry out really, really hard. So I am going to say that having not tried it, next time when I do it, I'm probably going to bake them for about an hour and a half, and then I will just leave them to cool down in the oven as you would meringue, and then that hopefully then we'll get it to the right crunchy, because at the moment they needed to be crunchy, they couldn't be soft, but then they are a little too hard now. So that also poses a bit of a problem, because you don't want them like a hard kernel popcorn kind of thing either. But anyway, it was a hit, and she loves them, and I've been able to send her to school with them. Obviously, it's not going to really fill her up, but it's a nice, healthy snack for her to have if she's feeling peckish and stuff. So today, I'm going to bake. So I have this quinoa recipe that I make, which is a really nice, it's not gluten-free. It can be done gluten-free, but it's not gluten-free. So just so that you know, it's not gluten-free, but there's more quinoa than there is, well, yeah, it's a 1-to-1 ratio of quinoa and of flour, but they're quinoa muffins. So the recipe I have has carrots and raisins and pecan or walnuts, but obviously I'm trying to make this now for my child, and while she likes carrots, she doesn't necessarily like carrots inside a muffin. So I'm actually going to substitute some of the ingredients. So for the carrots, I'm going to substitute them for apples, because I know that she definitely likes it, and will probably make it taste a little sweeter. And then for raisins, I'm going to substitute, I don't have chocolate chips, I've apparently run out of those, but I'm going to just chop up some chocolate. I'm using dark chocolate, not milk chocolate. So I'll chop up a little bit of chocolate just to give it a bit of a chocolatey flavor. And then instead of using baking soda, I'm going to use a banana, because it will also give her that nice banana flavor that she likes. The reason why I'm substituting the baking soda is that because baking soda and banana do the same thing in a recipe. So instead of having banana and baking soda, I'm just going to substitute the baking soda for banana. Yeah, so that they both binding agents and rising agents, so I will just substitute the one for the other. I am going to put in crushed walnuts, so I've blended them up quite small. So a lot of the stuff I'm going to try, like the apple, even though I know she loves apple, I'm going to grate it up quite small so that it so that she doesn't see it. She doesn't want to see, she gets a bit freaked out about like if she sees if she sees the strip of carrot, then she's going to go, oh, what's this, you know, and then not want it. The same like if she sees the strip of apple, you know. So the reason why I'm not putting the carrot in also is because obviously if it's like orange or whatever, then she's a bit iffy about it, and I don't think that the carrot will go very nice with the chocolate. So I think the apple and the chocolate and the banana, that will work well. And then I'm going to have, I've chopped up, I've actually ground it up quite a lot. It's quite, you know, that's just gonna, she's gonna taste this flavor, but it's not going to be big chunks or anything like that. Because again, when it's big chunks in that, then she's like, oh, I don't want this or anything, which is really strange, because her favorite chocolate is a lunch bar, which has big chunks of, you know, peanuts in it, but yet she won't eat peanuts. So she's very strange like that. There are lots of things that she actually does eat, but she eats them in a combination of things. So she won't eat them on her own. She won't eat an egg on its own, but she will eat it, but she can eat it and will eat it in mixed things. So it's she's rather weird like that. But okay, we're all good. So so yeah, so first things first, of course, switch on the oven. Let's preheat 150 as per usual at 150. rather bake lower heat for longer than drying out and stuff. So according to my recipe, I should make about 6 muffins. If I get a little bit more out of that, then yay, bonus. So just move that over there. Okay, so what we're going to need is a cup of flour. So this doesn't require you to beat it or anything like that. It's literally just almost like doing a carrot cake where you just mix it all together. Done. So in a bowl, you're going to put a cup of flour, which I have behind me. So I'm so stoked about the fact that we have peanut butter at school again, and peanuts, because they are now. I'm definitely going to do it. I found a really nice healthy peanut butter like bar treat that I want to try out with her. And since now she's allowed peanut butter, I can make them so that she can take them to school. Because obviously my biggest struggle was trying to find things that didn't have peanuts in it. Oh, no. Oh, sorry. Now I've disappeared underneath the drain here. Sorry. Yeah. So 1 cup of flour. We're gonna do a 1/4 cup of brown sugar, light brown sugar. So I'm just going to use normal light brown sugar, plus 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. I don't know why. Okay, that's weird. Do I put it all in together? Let me just. I haven't done this recipe in a very, very, very long time. Okay, so before I carry on, now I'm jumping the gun. So before I carry on, what you're going to do is you're going to take a 1/4 cup of raw quinoa. Okay, and so you can do it. So this is quinoa, and originally I thought, oh, what is, I love quinoa now. It's something, when my husband first introduced it to me, I was like, it's quite bland. You can't eat it on your own. It's on its own. It's definitely not something. So I've got the mixed one where there is it's the white one. I think there's 3 different ones, the red one and the brown one. So I've got all 3 mixed in here, but you can buy it where it's just white or just the red one, or it's all the same. Quinoa is a very, very, very good substitute for protein and for carbohydrates. So even though it's a carbohydrate, it's a better option to bread, flour, all that kind of, well, not flour, but bread, it's things that are man-made kind of thing. So so it's and it's very high in protein. So that's really what we're aiming for, is something that's got good high protein and a good carbohydrate to give her that energy. So you can use any color that you want, and then you put a 1/4 cup in a pot, and then my suggestion is to do 3 of those, half a cup of dried quinoa to 3 of those half cups of water, and then you boil it slowly. Don't boil it quickly, because then it doesn't cook nicely. So if you boil it slowly, then it cooks really nicely and almost doubles or triples in size. So if you just cook it really slowly, I've already cooked it because I want it cold. So I already cooked mine. I'll show you. It doubles in size. So that's what it looks like now when it's cooked. And yeah, I mean, like, it's supposed to be, so yeah, that's quinoa. And now it's light and fluffy and whatever. And quinoa can be used in just about anything. I've learned, because I've learned how to use quinoa. So you use it as your base, like you would rice or pasta or something like that, but it's a better option. So like I like to do, for me, for breakfast, I like to use quinoa, spinach, a little bit of mushrooms, tomato, 2 poached eggs, and then I make like a whole mix, and I fry it all up, dry fry it, with spray and cook, so it's healthy, with a little bit of spinach, tomatoes, mushrooms, a little bit of spring onion, all of that, garlic, mix it in, and then fry it up with the already cooked quinoa, and then I add 2 boiled eggs or poached eggs or whatever, and it actually makes a nice breakfast. Yeah, and you can use your quinoa for all sorts of things if it's a base, but you've got to use it and eat it with something else, because on its own is not so great. So oh, I've dropped some dried quinoas in here. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to have boiled up your quinoa, and then once you've done that, okay, then you're going to mix the flour, a quarter. What I'm trying to find out is why there needs to be an extra 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. That's so funny. I'm trying to work out why an extra 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. Anyway, so we're going to use a quarter cup of brown sugar. Let's face it, brown sugar has a really delicious smell to it, and the taste of brown sugar is not the same as white sugar. You know, refined pasta sugar and all that. That just tastes like sugar. This has got almost got a flavor to it, which is really, really nice. And then a half a teaspoon. Only half a teaspoon? Only half a teaspoon. Okay, I'm gonna put a teaspoon. Is it a half? What have I got here? This is a teaspoon. I'm actually going to put it, because I'm going to take the baking soda out, I'm going to just make it half a teaspoon of, a full teaspoon of baking powder, because I'm taking that baking powder, because I'm taking the baking soda out. I'm not going to use the baking soda. Then we need half a teaspoon of salt. You always need that half a teaspoon of salt, because it brings out the flavors. It's not to make it salty. It actually helps the other ingredients get more flavor, and it brings out the flavors. That's actually why you end up using salt most of the time. And it's always only just a half teaspoon of salt. Just gives it that bit of flavor. Okay, so we're going to have that. Then we're going to do... measure a cup of quinoa and add it to the bowl along with the okay, so I'm going to add a cup. So this was half a cup raw, and I can show you, you'll see how much it's doubled in size or tripled in size, because now I only need a cup of quinoa that's cooked, and it's not quite, you can see it's I've got leftovers. Which is fine, because I'll have it for breakfast. So we put a cup of cooked quinoa inside there. Okay, cup of cooked quinoa. I'm going to use my spoon because I'm going to mix it up. And then, right, so then I'm going to do round about half a cup of, let's move that to the side, round about half a cup of grated apple. So I'm going to use the smaller grated apple, the smaller grater, so that it's, oh, this man. He's ruining my life. So I'm going to use the smaller one, so that it's not that visible, but it's in. So the great thing about this is that I'm just going to cut it first before I try and grate it. Is that obviously then she's getting, a little bit. So if you do it with carrots, then obviously then they're getting that little bit of vegetable in. That's something that I'm going to also start doing this year, is trying to find ways that I can get my child to eat more vegetables. And I think I might have mentioned it last week. I do a spaghetti bolognese, and last week I decided instead of the meats, I will make my bolognese the exact same way, except I will then use some a little bit of mushrooms, a little bit of brinjal, a little bit of baby marrows, and I'll chop it all up super fine, and I'll cook it just like I would for a bolognese. And then and she absolutely loves it. So she's been getting her vegetables. So what I did is I landed up actually blending it a little bit more, so that it was more saucy than chunky, because as soon as she sees the chunky, so she does like it, but if she sees how it looks, she doesn't want to eat it. So if she knew that her tomato pasta actually had multiple vegetables, she'd probably freak. So she doesn't know that there's all these extra vegetables inside there. But it's great. She's eating it, which means that she's going to get used to those flavors. And at some point, she'll eventually want to actually eat those things when she realizes, actually, I eat it already and it tastes okay. So what's the difference if it's all mashed up in something where I can't see it? Or and it's not a texture thing or anything like that. I think it's just straight, good old fussy nonsense. Because she doesn't have an issue with texture or anything like that. So I just find it very, very funny that she does that. I think I might be wrong. I don't think I'm wrong. I think I was probably the same as her as a kid. I do remember not eating mushrooms as a kid, and now I'll eat all sorts of mushrooms. So I'm hoping that will be the case with her, that she'll eventually start to eat everything. If we can hide it now for what it looks like, but she eats it and says she likes it, she will eventually eat it as a whole. I need to only have half a cup of this. So also the thing is I didn't want to completely leave the carrots out, because the whole point of the carrots is not only obviously for the vegetable and the healthy part of it or whatever, but also it will make your muffin more moist by having the carrot or the apple or something. It moistens and stuff. So like when you do like red velvet cake or whatever, and you put in the beetroot actually makes it moist. Same like when I do the coconut chocolate cake, the coconut milk makes it super moist. So it just gives it that extra moisture. I don't know why I'm getting. So I need so I figured two apples would be enough. So it probably is. I'm hoping that this is something that she's going to enjoy. Like if I ask her, so I'm gonna trick her. I'm gonna trick her into eating this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to, and these are super delicious. And she used to eat them when it was the carrots, the straight recipe when I used to make it. But that was before she started becoming so fussy about what, when she looks at it, she goes, oh no, So, and being aware of what's around her surroundings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trick her. So I'm putting the chocolate in, right? So it's going to give it that darker texture look to it than what it would be if it was the original recipe, which is fine. And she's gonna taste the chocolatey flavor in there, which is fine as well. And it's dark chocolate, so that it's a little bit healthier for her. God forbid chocolate being healthy, but it's just that little bit healthier because it is a dark chocolate as opposed to milk chocolate. And then if it's what's going to help her eat these, the overall thing is that it's a pretty healthy recipe. So what I'm going to do with tricking her is that obviously with the chocolate, it's going to look a little bit like a chocolate muffin or chocolate cupcake because of the chocolate. But I'm going to trick her in that I'm going to actually bake it with some sprinkles on top, because my child pretty much eats anything that has sprinkles on it. I think not. I think if I put sprinkles on actual vegetables, she might eat it. But yeah, if she sees sprinkles, she wants to try it. And I'm hoping that she will see this more as like, oh, it's a cupcake. It's got sprinkles on it. And she'll try it, and she will say yes, she likes it, or she doesn't. Unfortunately, sometimes she tells me that she likes something, but actually she just doesn't want to displease me. Which is really not a good thing either. So she'll tell me that she likes something, and then in fact actually she doesn't. And she, she's just like happy with herself that she's tried it. Like for me, like I get it if you don't like something. Like there are some things that I just will not eat, and it's not because I've never tried it, it's because I have eaten it and I really, really, really don't like it. One being mangoes. I don't like the smell of mangoes. I don't like the taste of it. I don't like the texture. I don't like anything about mango. I just, it just does not sit well with me at all. I just don't dig them. And, but I've tasted them. It's not like I've never eaten them. So for me, I just wanted to taste these things and then decide whether she likes it. So, yeah, and a lot of the time she'll try these things more because her friends have come to school with them. So then her friends are like, oh, like she'll see her friends eating things that she's never eaten before, like the chocolate chickpeas. And then suddenly now she wants to try the chocolate chickpeas. But she didn't, she just thought it was chocolate. So, she just thought it was chocolate. And I'm like, no, it's not chocolate. And then I see that it's actually chocolate chickpeas. Chocolate chickpeas. And a really good healthy snack. So I'm like, okay, but all because one friend introduced it to it. So okay, so then I'm gonna just chop up. So I'm gonna mash a banana because I'm using the banana as part of the wet ingredients. Okay, and it's gonna look awful. I'm just warning you. The banana's gonna look awful. So the best the best bananas for cooking and for baking are bananas that were pretty much ripe, and you're not gonna eat it because it's so ripe, and you pop it in your deep freeze and you leave it there, and then you take it out to thaw out. And then you mash it. It's already pretty much mashed because when it's in the deep freeze, it starts to get even more ripe and stuff. But it doesn't go off because it's in the deep freeze. And then you can use it. So, and then it's when it's in this state that you can use bananas as a substitute for eggs. Because then it's brilliant. So I kind of want to make these big chunks because obviously if I wanted chocolate chips, there would be big chunks. So we'll see. I'm not going to make it too small. I think I used, in December for holiday baking, I did, 5-cup slice. And I think that's when I used all my chocolate chips that I had. Because when I came looking for them today, they were gone. I don't use chocolate chips very often, so that's also something why it hasn't been replenished, because I don't really have a use for it. I keep a lot of other baking chocolate. So, and this is just as good. It's no different to using chocolate chips. Like I said, I'm using dark chocolate though. So, and generally, chocolate chips are normally dark chocolate as well. Generally, and that's if you're going to be doing any healthy baking with chocolate, you kind of want to always use the dark chocolate, not a milk chocolate. because that way it stays vegan, and especially if you can get obviously like the 70 to 80%. You can also use actual chocolate, not baking chocolate. Probably do the same thing. So you can go out and do it with, 80% lint if you wanted to, I suppose. So yeah, right. So we're gonna mix this up. We kind of want the flour to coat the quinoa and, oh wait, and then I'm gonna add a quarter cup of, is it a quarter or a third cup? It says a third cup of the walnuts. So that's pretty much all of them. All of it, which is fine. At least it's getting used. And then we'll just mix it all in. So this is exactly how you would do a carrot cake, really, where you add all your dry ingredients. I think I'm going to get more than 6 muffins, to be honest. I also don't want very big muffins. I just want small ones. So I'm probably going to get more out of it. Actually, I was going to use pink muffin cups, but they're quite big, so I now want these to be small for her. I don't want them big, so I'm actually going to go and get, I've got a whole set of My Little Pony muffin cups or cupcake papers, and they're very small, so they'll make the size of your cupcake will always be big or small depending on the size of your cupcake. Hello, English. Do you not speak English? Hi. Okay, so that's all your dry ingredients. Okay, so then I'm going to just pop that aside. And then in a bowl, we're going to beat up with the fork my really squishy, disgusting looking banana. But trust me on this. Trust me on this. When you make banana bread or anything with bananas as a substitute for eggs or anything like that, this is the way you want it, even though it looks horrid. I promise you, it is the best substitute for an egg if you don't want to have eggs in your stuff, but even as for your banana bread. Okay, so and then we're going to do an egg, a teaspoon of vanilla essence, and so I'm also going to put in, so there's no milk in here either. So if you could make it probably completely vegan by substituting eggs. So probably doing 2 bananas, or a banana and baking soda, which will substitute, or yeah, I'm not 100% sure what buttermilk is made from. My husband, do you know what buttermilk is? That I'm assuming buttermilk comes from an animal, so that, yeah, so that wouldn't work. Then I'm going to use coconut oil as opposed to using using vegetable oil, because this would be a much better option. So I'm just going to melt this a little bit because I need it to be, not hard. And then I'll use that instead of vegetable oil. It'll also give it a bit of flavor. I'm going to pop it into the microwave. For like 30 seconds. Okay. And then our last thing is we need 1/2 cup of plain yogurt. Where is my plain yogurt? So you can do full cream plain yogurt. They say Greek yogurt, but whatever you can get your hands on, for half a cup. Okay, I'm just going to use a spoon to spoon that out because I don't want anything weird going into my yogurt. So we're going to do half a cup. Okay, then you wouldn't be able to do yogurt either. It wouldn't be vegan, hey? But yeah, I mean, it's a good. I suppose I can do that. It's a help. Not too sure how to make it vegan if you wanted to make it vegan. You'd have to substitute certain things, though. Okay. And then, okay, so I've got the egg, I've got vanilla, I'm going to use the coconut oil, yogurt, and then I'm instead of baking powder, I'm using banana. So I need 3 tablespoons of coconut oil. So this is how our coconut oil comes. It's in a tub that's hard, and then you just melt it so that you've got the oil. So I just need the 3 tablespoons. I don't need more than that. And then we're going to mix it all together like that. And we're going to add that to the banana has some chunky bits, so I'm just going to take those out. But so for me, because of my daughter being a bit of a fuss, I kind of just want to take anything that's recognizable and either mash it up or so that it's not like terrifying for her to try out. We're gonna mix that all together, and okay. It is saying to put the baking soda because it's going to, I'm not sure, it's something to do with the reaction with the yogurt. I feel like that's not going to be an issue though. I think this will be fine. Got all the rising agents and everything, so I'm not too stressed. Okay, so then I'm just going to quickly go get those My Little Pony muffin cups, and then also doing it with these, then she feels that it's specifically made for her. She feels all special and all the rest of it. So we just leave those. So we're gonna pop those in there. So now I don't know how many I'm going to get out of this. So I'm just going to start off with 6 and then go from there. If I get more, I get more. So we're just going to scoop this nicely. 1 scoop at a time. So you don't want to fill this right to the top, because if you have a little bit of a paper, then it allows it to grow. If you don't have enough paper, that's why I use the bigger cups for my cupcakes itself, because then my cupcakes are a little bit bigger than tiny cupcakes. So I am going to get more. Okay, so we'll put another. What did I do over here? I feel like these are going to be a winner because of the banana and the apple and the chocolate. Yeah, I think they'll taste really good, and I just hope that she will actually, you know, try them out and eat them, and say, you know, she likes them. Who knows? Who knows? You know, when you struggle with a child who really doesn't want to eat stuff. But it's still weird because there's a lot of stuff that she eats that other kids don't eat. So, which is also strange. Doesn't eat the usual things that usually kids eat. Scrape that last bit out. It's going to be a very much smaller one. That would be my taster, so that I can taste it. Hope it tastes good. Okay, I can't. These are not going to take very long to cook. Just trying to even that out a bit. Okay, so they won't take long to cook. Probably 15 to 20 minutes. And then obviously, like I said, I'm going to what am I going to do? I'm just thinking, because obviously I really want to sell this to my child. Like, I really want to sell it. I really want him to eat it. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to chop up a little bit of, I'm going to put sprinkles on, and then but I just want to, so that it has like a little bit of extra chocolate. Then I'm going to sprinkle on top. Because even if she ate not even one a day, if she had one every second day, one every third day, because these I can put in the deep freeze and I can give them to her as and when, you know, I make her lunches, but just so that I can give her something else other than the same. Yeah. The same stuff all the time is just, you know, like even with dinners and that, I don't give her the same dinners. I try and, you know, change that up as well. Children. Okay, so I'm just going to sprinkle some chocolate on top like that. Might need to chop up some more. The reason why I'm doing this is because I just kind of wanted to look more chocolatey than not. Like I said, to sell it. I'm really trying to sell this to my child. So yeah, I just wanted to have more of a chocolatey flavor and more of a chocolatey look to it. I think more of the chocolatey look than anything else. So now I'm just chopping this up really finely so that it just almost just melts on the top. But I'm going to also put her hundreds and thousands sprinkles on, because she absolutely loves those, and I feel like if I put them on, that will definitely sell her in eating these. What we do to get our kids to eat healthy, right? In a way. Yeah. And it's so funny because my child never used to, she never used to like cake and stuff like that, ever. Like for her first birthday, I did a cake smash shoot with her, and she refused to eat the cake, so it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, because she refused to, she didn't even want to touch the cake, let alone taste it. Now I can't get it to stop eating cake. And yeah, and yeah, she only started really eating cake by her second birthday. She didn't want it. Now I can't get it to stop. Now every time I bake, she's like, is there any for me? So I'm hoping this is going to excite her today. She's going to get to taste one of these with sprinkles. And so yes, I'm like, you know, obviously putting sprinkles and stuff is not necessarily the healthiest option to doing this, but if I can just start getting her to eat something like this, it then, you know, will slowly convert her. But it's a start. I mean, because in general, this is a much healthier option to a cupcake or, you know, anything else. So I'm going to pop these in the oven. Yeah, kids, that's all I can say, kids. So I'm going to say, yeah, 15 to 20 minutes, and then it should be good. Right, so in the meantime, I'm just going to tidy up my kitchen here, or else it is a mess to work in, and I don't like working in a mess. So yeah, so I'm gonna probably do another 1 or 2 episodes on like this, with some other options. The one being that peanut butter square thing that I found. I don't know what it's called. I do think I saved it. I think I did, because I thought that would be an awesome, even just at home, not necessarily at school, but it's going to be a nice healthy treat for her to take to school. So as soon as I find the recipe, I will also I think I'll do that one, and then I think I'm going to just try and find one more other healthy option that I can use for her, and hope that that it works. I don't know what other options anybody else has got. Quite happy to have you send me a link to a recipe that you're wanting to try but you're not 100% sure, and I can try it for you on live. Quite happy to do that. If you message me the link and say, please can you try this recipe on live, definitely will do that. I like to try different recipes, and I think the audience also likes to you know, when I try all these different recipes and see how they work, and if they do work or if they don't work, or if, you know, there needs to be a little bit of tweaking here and there, and it's fun doing it. Yeah, let's see what else. Not much else. So yeah, so I think for the next one I'm going to do the peanut butter square. I actually think I've got it saved somewhere. I just want to see what it really is. I am constantly looking for recipes, and I'm always saving them on my phone. Oh yeah, it's no bake. This one, no bake chocolate chip blondies. So this is something I want to try. and it's got so basically it looks like a little like bar, chocolate bar, and in it has got coconut flour, mashed banana, peanut butter, honey or maple syrup, vanilla essence, and chocolate chips. And you don't bake it, so it's I think it almost kind of has the same kind of texture as cookie dough, I would assume. That's what it looks like as well. And then I think you just freeze them. Oh yeah, so you just cut them in, and then you wrap them up in parchment paper, and you freeze, and you just keep them in the fridge. And they can be frozen, so that's awesome. So that's something I'm probably going to do that next week, because I really do want to try that, and then hopefully that will be a good recipe for. Oh, and the other thing I'd like to try is doing apple chips, apple and banana chips. I'm not sure if my child will eat them, but also one of those things that she used to eat was those sweet potato and beetroot chips. I haven't managed to get that right, but I'd like to try that. You can get banana chips and chocolate chips, so I think that's also something I'd like to try. It's an easy baked chocolate chip, so I'll probably do apple ones and banana ones, and see if, again, it's going to be a nice she eats both apples and bananas fresh, so, but I think like as a feeling like it's something different, even though it's the same, so it's same but different, because she eats apples and bananas, that if she eats them as a chip, she might actually enjoy that. Because also, well, she loves potato crisps. Sorry, I'm just getting a message to the phone. So yeah, we shall see. So probably next week and the week after, that's what I'm going to do, 111, and then hopefully by then I will have worked out some kind of content plan for live by then, and that I'll have things, and obviously then start getting busier and have things that I'm going to be doing in the kitchen. One of the things I will be doing, maybe I'll be doing that next week though. One of the things that I'm going to be doing is Easter. I need to do the Easter prep stuff now and decide what we're doing. So that's something that we need to do now. So that possibly might just get slotted in between me doing healthy treats. It's a very difficult balance, I think, because I'm trying to do a business where it's obviously treats that are not necessarily healthy, and then for your birthday and your birthday cakes and all that kind of stuff, but at the same time you still also need to stay healthy and eat healthy. So it's quite a hectic balance. and yeah, it can be otherwise. So, but we shall get there, I suppose. We will find balance, and we will get the child to eat food and be healthy and be sustainable. I smell cake, so I just want to check. I am actually baking the cake as well. I've already mixed it up and everything, and then just put it in the oven while this is all going. Yeah. So yeah, I'm sure we'll give it another 10 minutes. Should be good enough. And then we'll see how they look. Now I don't actually have. That's terrible. Because normally I have extra things that I can do while I'm talking to you guys, but I don't. I don't have anything extra, so now I feel like I'm just waffling. And of course, all you can hear is the buzzing in the back. So I'm actually just going to leave it here for now. I'm not going offline. I'm just going to switch off my microphone, leave you to listen to some music while we just wait another 10 minutes for the muffins to be done. But yeah, hearing the buzzing in the background is not great. So we'll be back in about 10 minutes.
Yeah. Just okay.
It wasn't doing that just now. Yes, just now it was actually moving, even though I was quiet.
Slightly, but that range is where things are audible.
Oh, okay, so that's not going to really.
That's your clarity range. The rest of the stuff is ambient, and I put limiters for the range and everything as well.
Oh, okay.
So things like the big noises don't hit you as strongly to it.
Oh, okay, so it's more like just in the background kind of thing.
And the mic is smart as well. The mic knows what crappy sounds is and what a voice is. So it tries to already equalize for that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think 5 minutes. Should be 5 minutes. Should be good. In 5 minutes. So now I can just about see you with your Lumo shirt digging in the fridge.
Wasn't me.
He's hoping, you know that situation.
I thought there'll be some quinoa cupcakes. Apparently not.
Not yet. They're not ready. The chocolate quinoa banana and apple. But you know, you know how you have that thing where you open the fridge and you don't see anything that you like, and then you come back 5 minutes later in the hopes that something might have generated in the fridge when you open it again. I think that's that's what I think my husband is hoping for. That every time, and my daughter does the same thing. Opens the fridge in the hope that something has generated inside the fridge that she can eat. You think you can do that? You think that it's going to magically appear in the fridge? Something will magically appear that's delicious and ready to eat. No, that's funny. I went from having no orders to one order because of Bruno's, a friend of Bruno's. Just cool. I might just quickly bake it now as well. Don't hide from the camera, Marla. Oh yeah. They're not fluffy, but they actually are cooked. They're hot, they're cooked. They'll seem cooked. I'm not 100% sure though. You know why? I put try to you know, make them look funky for the child. I try to make them look funky for the child. So this is what we're looking at. So I'm gonna just get a thing. One of these to put them in, so that I can see. I actually made them so small that I can't get them up. Okay, so I don't particularly like leaving them to cool inside the cupcake tray, because if you do, the paper tends to come away from the cupcake. So, and obviously because it's not a big cupcake, I can't grab it. Really? So I'm just gonna leave them here. They are testing like they are cooked, so that's why I'm like, because obviously you know the usual test where you poke something like that and it comes out with no batter or anything like that. So that's exactly what's happened. So it is, according to me, it's cooked. So I'm going to, yeah, probably going to love and leave you now. I will take some photos later and possibly get a photo with my daughter eating them, and hopefully she does enjoy them. I might even take a photograph of it opened up, so that we can see what it looks like inside. I think it's going to be super moist and quite tasty. So it doesn't, you know, I mean, it doesn't look 100% like a muffin or like a cupcake or anything, but this is all in the hopes of, you know, selling it to my child and deluding her into eating a supposed cupcake that's a little bit healthier than, you know, than an actual cupcake. So, because on a daily basis she asks if she can have cupcakes. So I don't, and also by putting chocolate and sprinkles on it, she's not going to ask me to put icing on it. So that's also her biggest thing, is that she loves eating lots and lots of icing, and obviously that's a huge amount of sugar. So I mean, I prefer to be making these kinds of treats. I know exactly what's in it. I know that it's not a lot of sugar as opposed to, you know, but also, I mean, once it's divided up into so many, also, it's not a lot per treat. So as long as she only has one per day or one every second day, I'm happy with that. And it's, you know, quinoa, good, healthy protein, and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, guys, that is me for today. Quick and easy, and hopefully super healthy, and hopefully it's going to be a winner. I will post on Facebook later today some photos, and then obviously what the end result was, and if she decided that she actually liked them or not. Anyway, guys, have a super fantastic day and weekend, and I will catch you next week Wednesday. Bye.